Hello there and welcome to yet another News of the Week recap about Javier Milei's libertarian fight after so many years of socialism. Subscribe!
Uno va al fondo típicamente cuando la situación macroeconómica está desordenada. Entonces el fondo pide ciertas condiciones que esencialmente son un orden fiscal y un orden monetario, y contra eso te da plata para que vos en el mientras tanto puedas seguir con tus operaciones. ¿Qué es lo diferente y por qué esta vez es diferente? En general las cosas con el fondo salieron mal.
Siempre.
Esta vez es diferente porque todo ese ajuste fiscal y monetario que pide el fondo, y más, nosotros ya lo hicimos el año pasado. Entonces estamos en un caso atípico. Al fondo no le pasó nunca de ir a un programa donde el presidente y el equipo económico del país es más ortodoxo que ellos. Entonces es atípico en este sentido, que en realidad la parte del ajuste fue lo que ya se hizo. Es también esto medio único en Argentina. Tuvimos un presidente que dijo lo que iba a hacer, que dio un diagnóstico de lo que pasaba, dijo lo que iba a hacer. Hicimos lo que el presidente dijo que íbamos a hacer y los resultados nos acompañaron, porque no perdamos la perspectiva. Íbamos camino a una hiperinflación garantizada. Ahora, una vez que se logra cierta estabilidad, inconscientemente uno quiere ser Suiza mañana. Bueno, no se arreglan 120 años de desmanejo en uno. Entonces, está claro que hay un montón más para hacer, pero yo veo a la gente recontra entusiasmada y sobre todo recuperando la esperanza que se había perdido. Entonces, contra eso tenés la casta o el sector que siempre vivió de la política y que obviamente lo vas a tener en contra, porque es la gente que vivió de la política y que ve a la política como un negocio. Antonio, voy a contar una infidencia. Estuvimos con José Luis Daza 2 horas reunidos con Nuriel Rubini, ¿no? Para lo que la gente no sabe, uno de los economistas más respetados. Se interesó tanto en el programa que, como te digo, en el programa económico, que estuvimos más de 2 horas explicándole la parte no solo fiscal, que es un poco lo que él creía que más habíamos hecho, sino toda la parte monetaria, cambiaria y financiera. Terminó la reunión diciéndome, tenés que escribir un libro, porque esto cambia la economía como nosotros la hemos estudiado. O sea, ustedes hicieron un ajuste que terminó siendo expansivo. La economía creció 5,5% en el año. Típicamente, cuando vos haces un ajuste, y mucho menor al que nosotros hicimos, la economía entra en recesión. Por eso es que a los políticos no les gusta ajustar, porque eso es recesivo y les saca votos. Entonces, lo que se ha hecho, ¿no?, es algo realmente único. No es milagroso, porque es el resultado de hacer las cosas bien, pero sí es histórico.
The one thing that distinguishes this administration from previous attempts at stabilizing the country and making it grow, and I'm talking, of course, about administrations that were somewhat similar in philosophy, but they never tackled the explosive fiscal dynamics. And if you look at what this government has done in the first year in government, you know, as Mark Twain said, they didn't know it was impossible, so they did it. In fact, these are statistics that the president quotes, and I find it unbelievable. Of the last 123 years, 113 had fiscal deficits. Obviously, the first thing you want to ask, what happened about the 10? So what did we do those 10 years? Well, we were in default, so we were not paying interest on the debt. It's easier if you don't pay interest. So that is something that is at the very core of the macro instability. This is the first necessary condition that we have in order for you to come back to Argentina and think, okay, maybe this time actually is different. So, number one, macro stability. Second, what's the legal framework that tells you that this time we're not going to steal your property, say it hardware, software, IP? We have a history of not respecting our contracts. The RIGI, this regime for large investments, over $200 million in basically different areas of the economy, is the one thing that, from a legal standpoint, that gives investors a reassurance. I'm not going to elaborate more on that, but the RIGI is a major step forward in giving investors legal reassurances. Now that you know that we're not going to blow up and that we actually mean it from a legal standpoint, what is it that should bring you here and look at all these new opportunities? We want to become an AI hub, Argentina. Obviously, I'm going to go very quickly, but we have large extensions of land with access to energy, with access to water, in cold climates, which is sort of a cherry on the cake for the cooling of systems. And in an area without armed conflicts, without tsunamis, no earthquakes, there are not that many places on Earth with those things. Obviously, the problem with this area is that it's populated by the Argentinians. So this is the one thing that we have fixed. If you had any misgivings, as I said, we are stabilizing the macro and we're giving you the legal framework that tells you we mean business this time. AI is going to drive massive investments in hardware, and the one thing also that AI needs is much more energy. We have an exponential increase in energy demand, and what these AI data centers require are sources of energy that have three characteristics. They are clean, stable, and scalable. Nuclear energy is actually one of the cleanest, if not the cleanest source of energy that we have in the world. And actually, it's much more stable. What do we mean by stable? Some of the renewables, for example, solar, I mean, it's obviously a daily cycle, or hydropower, they have the seasonal changes. So if you want something that is stable, nuclear gives it to you. And it's also clean, and it's also scalable. The only thing that actually gives you all the characteristics that the world wants, and the companies that are running this AI, that are at the forefront of the AI revolution, are these. We are at the very center of this technology, human resources, and natural resources confluence that can allow Argentina to thrive. We have a very long-standing history of nuclear energy since the 50s. We actually have developed our own, and we have top nuclear engineers that can actually build the future when it comes to nuclear. In addition to that, we have vast reserves of uranium that at this point are not being exploited at all. We are actually going to build the next generation of SMRs. We have this ACR 300, which is a 300 megawatt SMR. We're going to put 4 modules in the Atucha site, bringing 1.2 gigawatts online. We're hoping to do this in 5 years, which is a very, very tight schedule. The moment we do that, we might be one of the first, I don't want to say the first, but let's say maybe the first, countries have a commercially available SMR solution for the world. And if we are first, not only we're going to offer to all of you the reactors to supply the energy needs that you have, we have the uranium. And we're going to sell you as well the uranium to fuel those reactors. So if you needed one more reason why you should be looking at here, this is it. We are open for business. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Please feel free to comment. See you next time.